Rebecca Sloan,
John Snavely.
April 2019. All right. Are you doing well today?
Yeah.
Good. Alrighty. So last time we looked at this book. Tell me what you remember about this book.
It's about what they do or how famous people died, and like what they do with the bones afterwards.
Okay. And who did you read about last time?
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar. And what do you remember about what you read?
That he was a Roman emperor, or he called himself a dictator, and that he was a conqueror, and he eventually died because his friends who were in the Senate killed him. They stabbed him.
Yes, they did. And why? Do you remember?
Because he was being selfish, and he didn't consider them when he was making like decrees and everything.
Right. That's exactly right. And so then, what was the ironic part about what happened to the rest of the Senate after Julius Caesar died?
Well, they all died. They got killed.
And why was that?
Because everyone liked Julius.
So, but you told me nobody liked him. You told me that they didn't like him. That's why they killed him.
No, the Senate didn't like him.
Oh, okay. So then who killed the Senate?
The people. Like the village people.
Oh, the people. Okay. So the people liked Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. All right. So one of the things that we want to accomplish in our tutoring is to come up with a strategy of what to do when we come across words that are long words and we don't know how to pronounce them. So we may know the words, like once we figure out how to pronounce it, we might be like, oh yeah, I know that word. I've heard that word before. Mm-hmm. Because some things can be in our listening vocabulary, like if somebody says the word, we know what they mean.
Yeah. But
not necessarily in our reading vocabulary, like we don't recognize it in print. Mm-hmm. But then if we can figure out what it is in print, we're like, oh yeah, okay, I got that. Mm-hmm. All right, so there were some words last time that we struggled with. And when I say we, I mean both of us. Because there were words here that I have not seen before, that I did not know. And I think the same was true for you as well. All right, so last time we said that we wanted to see if there were any parts of the words that we might recognize. Mm-hmm. So, for example, in this word, I recognize D-E-N. I recognize that as dent. Mm-hmm. Or could add the T, dent, or D-E-N for den. Mm-hmm. And I recognize U-R for and E-S is the S sound.
Or it could be a churs.
Yes, exactly. The T-U-R-E-S could be churs, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So when I look at this word, I see dentures. Mm-hmm. Okay. So sometimes you told me back when I was interviewing you, when you very first started, that you are a kinesthetic learner, that you like to hands-on. Mm-hmm. So when I do these syllables or these word parts, I kind of like to go dentures, or even move a finger like dentures, just because it sticks in my mind better. Okay, so let's take a look at these and let's see if these are some words we can figure out. Let's see. So these are words that we saw already. And let's see if there's any parts of those words that you know. So let me do the first one together. Let me do the first one, and then we'll do one together, and then you do one. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking A-U makes ah. Mm-hmm. And then I see the word top. Mm-hmm. And then I see that this ends with a Y, and I know that when it's more than one syllable and ends with a Y, it makes a long E sound. So when I look at this word, I see autopsy. And then if I run it together, I see autopsy. Autopsy. And say, oh, okay, well, I've heard that word before. That's when they kind of analyze the body to see how somebody died. Autopsy. Okay, pick a word out of there and see if you, well, let's do one together. Pick one out of there we can do together. Let's take that one. Now it's a gigantic word. All right, so what do you recognize? You pick something you recognize, and I'll pick something I recognize.
Gum.
Okay, so we see gum. I see in.
Terry.
Terry. Okay. Now we put the M with gum, didn't we? What else could it be? Could that M go with something else?
Mint.
Yeah, that M could go with mint. Now, if we put the M with GUM, what's that going to do to the U? Is it going to be long or short?
Short.
Short. If we put the M with MENT, that just leaves the GU, and when the syllable ends with a vowel like that, it makes the vowel long. So maybe we're going to have to try it both ways.
Yeah.
So let's see. We have in, te, right? Te. All right, let's try it. Let's try the M with the GUM. So you do that part. In, te.
Ge.
Well, let's try the GUM all together.
Gum.
Gum. So in, te, gum.
Entry.
Integumentary. You do it. See if you can do it.
Integumentary.
Yeah, and you kind of made the U long, didn't you?
Yeah.
So do that. Do it again long.
Integumentary.
Integumentary. Gosh, that's a lot of syllables, isn't it?
7.
7. Integumentary. Wow. You're right. That is 7. Good job. I think, so I'm not familiar with this word, but I'm thinking the long U sounds better. Integumentary. Do you know what this word means?
Does that have, no, I don't, that doesn't have something to do with rocks. Integumentary. No.
I don't either. Let's use one of our reference materials here, like dictionary.com, and see. Now, I think, doesn't dictionary.com also pronounce it for us?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can see how close we are on the pronunciation.
Okay.
Integumentary.
Oh, I think we were right. Okay, so what does it mean?
It means to, of, related to, or like, and intake, which, a natural covering of skin, shell, or reed, any covering, coating, enclosure, etc.
Okay, so a natural covering as a skin or a shell. So as it's related to,
Coat, hide, peel, envelope, skin, Uriel.
So if we're talking about how people died, which one do you think is the best definition?
Skin.
Skin. Yeah, something related to the skin. Okay, good. Well, I would like you to practice with these words in terms of breaking them down. Do you want this pen?
Sure.
And then see if you can figure out a good way to say it with the syllables.
Okay. So, pra. So, test.
I'm going to move your hand just so they see that.
So I know what the word is.
Okay, well, show me with syllables and then run the syllables together.
Protestant.
Okay, so run it together, and what do you think the word is?
Protestant.
Yes, Protestant. That's right. And do you know what that word means?
It's a type of church.
Yeah, type of church, yeah. And I think we talked about this last time. You recognized the word protest.
Yeah.
And how did we say that Protestants got their name? Because they were...
Protesting against the church.
Yeah, what church in particular?
Catholic Church.
Catholic Church, right. So a Protestant religion is anything that is not what?
Catholic.
Catholic. Any religion that's not Catholic is or any Christian religion that's not Catholic. Okay, what else you got there?
Next one, pry.
So this word is Pyre, but what I'm hearing you say is Pyre.
Well, I think the word's pry.
What makes you think that?
Wire.
So what sound? So we said a Y at the end of several syllables always sounds like an E, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what a Y sounds like in a one syllable word? Like the word my?
I.
It sounds like an I. Okay. So this is kind of like saying Pyre, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how would you say that word?
Pyre.
Pyre. Yeah, exactly. Now, I don't know that word.
It's a magic E.
Yes, it is. Good job. It's a magic E. Exactly. Do you know that word? I don't either. All right, good job looking it up.
Pyre.
A pile or heap of wood or other combustible material. Such a pile of burning a dead body, especially as a part of a funeral rite as in India.
All right, good. So a pile for burning a dead body. Does that fit in with what we read?
Yeah.
How?
Because they were killing all the Senate members.
Yeah, so no, I'm thinking back to when you were reading to me. Do you remember a part about them setting Julius Caesar's like statue?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were talking about how they set his what's it called? His shrine on fire.
Yes, his shrine on fire. So that would make sense, wouldn't it, in that context, that they would need some kind of heap of material to burn the dead body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else you got there?
Okay. So I know what the word is.
Okay.
Rigorous.
Well, let's break it down and see if we're right.
Okay. OUS and the word Rio. And there's the T or riot.
Okay, so if it's riot, how would you say that word?
Riotous.
Riotous. Does that make sense in the context of our Julius Caesar story?
Because the people were created a riot, I think, against the Senate after they killed Julius.
Yes, they did. They described the crowd as riotous. Okay, good. What's next?
Okay. Tyrant. Or no, tyrant.
Okay, so what word parts do we have there?
Tyrant.
Excellent. Okay, so how do you do that in syllables?
Tyrant.
And then put it all together, and what's our word?
Tyrant.
Tyrant. Or you could say tyrant. You could like put this accent on that I, tyrant. Do you know what a tyrant is?
Like a leader, or like a general, or like a military leader.
Okay. Is it just a neutral term, or does it usually refer to someone who's a great leader or someone who's a not great leader? Or is it just neutral?
It refers to someone who's a not good ruler.
Right, you're right. It is a derogatory term, tyrant. It's not a nice compliment, is it?
No.
All right, what else do you have?
We have the next one.
Now take your pen and do your word parts. And talk to us out loud about what you're doing.
And so try, which means 3, rate, and ver.
Okay.
So triumvirate, or virate.
Okay, so how are you going to run those syllables together to make a word?
Triumvirate. Triumvirate.
Okay, so let's do a little slow. So you got try, ver, eight. Triumvirate. Triumvirate. And you said, when you first pulled this out, you said tri means 3. So what do you think that has to do, triumvirate? What do you think that refers to in our Julius Caesar story?
That he was part of a 3-person ruling, or 3 people ruling. But as we know, he was selfish, or not selfish, but he took it over only for himself.
Yeah, so he wasn't real keen on
Sharing
that position with the other 3, was he? With the other 2. Okay. All right. How do you feel about, do you feel a little more confident about breaking the words down? Yeah? Okay. All right. Let's see if you can do a few more.